Okay, so hi, it's me, X. I announced I wanted to make this video on Discord a while ago, and I was going to do it much earlier, but I just didn't have time. Like, the quarantine didn't actually change my routine all that much, and yeah, I just didn't feel like I'm not gonna lie. But no, I really want to do this. It's really late right now, and yeah, if you hear a little bit of noise, it's a fan. It's really hot where I live, so I really hope it's not a problem. Though I'll try. I gotta do some cuts. By the way, I tried doing this like a bunch of times, and it just didn't work. So I'm gonna do this one by one. Cutting between them is gonna take me a while. So if you see some jumps on the clock, that's why. Essentially. So anyway, we're gonna look at all this, guys. Yeah, all of that, including mine, by the way, which normally I wouldn't do. But I hold up. But I mean, I feel like I want to say a few things, like in general, because there's like a few lessons I guess I learned while making my particular concept. But by the way, I need to. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, let's begin. So Blackbeard, the dark tide's bane, beware of the current, or you'll get drowned. Why did I say it like that? Anyway, so this is like the last one that got into the contest. I'm really happy that I got in because I'm pretty sure I saw the voting post, and then I saw this. I was like, oh buddy, like, oh that's sad. But then the ringmaster, was it? No, it's Zoreki, right? Yeah, the ringmaster. Zoreki added it like a last minute. So yeah, cool, nice. And that's nice because I really wanted to talk about this concept. So bio, there's not much else to say. There's not much to say really. He's like this asshole pirate who likes to treasure hunt, and one day he like dives really deep and gets like an artifact that transforms him into like this Davy Jones looking motherfucker, and now he's even more of an asshole. That's it. He becomes Tentacle Boy. There's a picture. There we go. He becomes the tentacle. We kind of need like a champion like this. Sure, maybe not the crab part because our god. But who even is this post? That's just the thing I hate about Imgar. Anyway, it doesn't tell you who made this. Anyway, just use Pinterest, seriously. So a few things I want to say about this guy is mostly the passive, because this is a really cool passive, but it doesn't fit the rest of the kit. Why? Okay, so Q. You throw a kind of like this Jace Q, essentially. You throw like this ball, it explodes, shreds armor. I literally just noticed that, by the way. Like, wait, it should be like a good thing because like this champion actually has like a lot of things to talk about. Shreds armor because why not? And maybe he added this like really, like, I don't know. No, it would say, right, if it was edited. Right, no, yeah, it would say edited like 5 minutes ago, something like that. But maybe not 5 minutes. But okay, so he shreds armor and applies this mark, and this mark is consistent throughout the whole kit, except the R, which I want to talk about. It's really cool R. So you get this, then you get like a leap that if you apply this mark, they are stunned, and then you get an E, which is a cleave, a single attack cleave, plus a movement speed buff. So okay, so looking at this, you say, well, this is some form of bruiser or tank? Question mark. Like if you look at the R, you say, well, this is clearly some form of tank or AP bruiser of some kind. It doesn't say actually. That's the thing. Was well leaning on top of roaming on jungle. Well, yeah, it's some form of passing has any body of water, even though that's not really what the passive is about. But whatever. Sorry, he's coming. create as simple as possible to easily see. I mean, yeah, sure, he's simple. You can say that. But let's talk about the passive. Because what it does essentially is you get this quote-unquote shield. Think Malzahar's passive, right? Every once in a while you get this effect, which if someone hits you, they get crippled. They lose attack speed and get this dark ink mark applied. But it's not that's okay. That's cool. That would be really nice in lane. It kind of sucks that it only works in lane, like against champions. It would be nice if it worked on epic monsters, or well, maybe not epic monsters because they're immune, but on large monsters like sigil monsters or wolves or Krugs, big Krug. But it's not important. What's important is the level 6 effect, which is essentially you are immune to wards. And the thing is, that's nice, but it feels like it doesn't make much sense, right? Like okay, like this kid doesn't seem like some split pusher. This is more of a sort of initiator support kid. Like I could visualize sort of a scenario where someone's split pushing and you are with them and they don't know you're there because they're only looking at the minimap, and like I don't know, they like cladled or something. They cladled from the minimap, or they cyanoled from the minimap, and they go after your guy, but also you're there because they didn't see you. They didn't see you through the minimap. But like, how often will it happen? And that's the thing. I really like this ability, but not on this particular kid. He does have clear though. He does have clear. He can stun people if they're marked. By the way, that's one thing that's not very clear. When he marks someone and then uses the mark, essentially, does it consume the mark, or does it stay? Like if it was, oh, you just have to refresh the mark. Well, okay, but I don't know. I feel like it should consume the mark and then you have to apply it again, and you basically have to choose which one you want, because W is basically just you leave by target, you deal magic damage, and if they're marked, it's Pantheon's W, essentially. And then E is it heals. That's all it does. It heals if you hit someone with the mark. It's not very clear if it heals only on the marked targets, for every marked target, or if it heals on all targets. If it just so happens to hit a marked target, it's not well established. But I'm gonna guess it doesn't consume the mark, and this just heals for every marked target, which is not particularly hard to do if you just have this, because this is an AoE. This is an AoE. This does physical damage, by the way. Well, it doesn't say, whatever. Now, ultimate. This is a cool ultimate. So, think Anivia ultimate, but it only lasts for a while. Like, Anivia ultimate only lasts for a while, and it's shaped basically like Mordekaiser's E. And this is a cool thing, by the way. Creates a massive water wave, streams to the opposite direction you're facing for duration. Essentially, you drop this thing and it's like Mord's E. It's like this constant stream of water that moves towards you in this AoE. So it has the Shen slow effect, where they are only slow if they're running against the current, essentially. And I love that kind of stuff. I love that when champions do that kind of stuff. I don't even know if like I remember concepts. There was particularly a water-based concept that did that. There's even one here that actually does that. What this one that does something similar with his ultimate, and actually with the rest of his abilities. But that's besides the one. With just like the weird physics kind of thing. So that's simple. That's nice, but also it has the effect of if they are immobilized, they basically like lose the resistance to the current. And now they can. Oh my god! and now they actually get dragged by the current, which is nice. But I do have one nitpick, and it says it has a like unique effect called drowned, but it's not a unique effect. It just says they take damage, like while in the area they take damage based on current health, and it gets a decreasing an increasing slow, like wither. So it's like, well, that's not an effect. That's just what the ability does. Like, I mean, yeah, I could say, well, what about wither? Wither is slow and a cripple. Or what about polymorph? It's both a silence, a slow, and a disarm. And yeah, sure. But at the same time, usually the damage isn't considered, because this is not burn damage. It's not like a dot. Well, it is a dot, but it's an AoE dot, like Morgana style dot. Actually, that's a good point. How would you call that? That's not really a dot. It's just damage each second. A burn, because it's not like a set amount of damage on a set amount of time. You can stand on the air, whatever. I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, really cool like moments, I guess you could say, like really cool elements. But yeah, I feel like probably he just didn't have time to properly. Just didn't have time to like make us like super interesting concept, even though like the passive and they are like really unique. And also that sometimes happens. Maybe I've just been like an idiot and say stupid shit. But sometimes happens like, okay, you have like this 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 really cool abilities, and then you just have to like fill. You need to have filler abilities, and they need to make some semblance of sense. So I guess that's fine. Like I'm gonna guess that's what happened. A combination of not really having much time and having like a really cool idea but not being able to go through with it. But I do like it. I do like it a lot. Okay, so next up, Vel Sa, the corpse puppeteer. By the way, really NT name. So this one, oh, I like this one. This one's sweet. It has a few problems, but I don't care. It's great. So where to even begin? So okay, so the idea behind this apparently is random shuriman lady that has like her lower half is it becomes like different things depending on where she's standing. So on normal ground, she's like Glavenus from Monster Hunter. It's like a Cashwari with like a blade tail, and then like on bushes she's like Kasek's legs, and then on the river she's like a fish, which is just great. It's just a fish. And it has this. So this concept has like a bunch of little details and stuff, and there's clearly like a lot of passion put into it, and a lot of just, okay, I just had like this really cool idea and I'm gonna like add all of it. And I love you as Cal, called like an angel name is supposed to be. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's great. It has like these little details like animation changes between Vel Sa and the woman, like in or out of control situations. Basically, not in combat. Like the woman is like no, like twirling her thumbs or something. Damn. Okay, she's like just running around like willy-nilly. But when there's an enemy nearby, she like loses consciousness, and then like the monster takes over. Because the lore, it has like a few weird cameos and shit, but that's common. Sometimes that happens where like someone's gonna like, okay, so I'm gonna write the lore, and for some reason they decide that some champion needs to show up for no real reason. They just need to show up. So the way this works is, so this lady gets just brutally murdered by a bunch of Voidborn. This lady in Shurima gets brutally murdered, and also her kid. And one of the Voidborn is like, okay, so I want to learn about humans because that's what the Watchers want. So I'm gonna go do that. By the way, did I upload this? Yeah. So I'm gonna go like grab this woman's body, reconstruct it, and satiable hunger. Anyway, so I was kind of reading a part that I didn't feel like it was there, but whatever. So he like possesses this dead woman, and the woman kind of revives like normally, but doesn't remember anything. She's like, oh, okay, where am I? What happened? This house is on fire. I don't know what am I doing here. He doesn't remember having a kid or anything. So the thing is, the creature's like, okay, so I want to learn like everything about this person, this human. So the Watchers may destroy them, but also I don't want to interfere with this creature's thoughts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like switch around. I'm gonna have the woman just be herself, and then at night I'm gonna take over and hunt. So that's basically what's going on. They have like this. There you go. For the protection of the text subject, Vel Sa, which is the creature, would override her mind and take control of her body to defend herself. So basically, she just passes out, and then the monster fights, and then the woman just doesn't remember anything. Because apparently, it also implants an image in the woman's head. Like the whole idea is that the woman has no concept of what's going on. So a bunch of stuff happens, like Rek'Sai shows up and whatnot. And this is like a reference to a Mumu. This is a reference to Sona, which we're gonna get to later. But yeah, it's really solid. I really advise you read it because it has a lot of interesting concepts. So what I like the most about this is, so basically is the whole idea of the monster inside. But in this case, usually what happens, and I guess like Venom and Hulk and whatnot are the main culprits of this. Usually what happens is the creature just takes control and doesn't really give a shit about the human part, and then the human part is like the one who suffers, right? In this case, the human part has no idea what's going on, and it's the creature who has all the agency. It's the creature that makes all the decisions, and also is the creature that has development. Because it does, if you read Velka's lore right now, apparently what's going on is that Velkas doesn't want to destroy everything. He wants to keep learning, he wants to keep exploring the universe, essentially. And so the writer decided, okay, but what about another creature that decides, okay, I want to do that too, but with emotions. So this creature essentially started to figure out emotions and wants to keep that. Wants to keep feeling, essentially. So it's like a kind of wholesome twist on this whole deal, on the whole like the monster inside deal. So yeah, it's like Venom, but without the revenge and without the killing, and well, with some killing, but not too much killing. Like only killing of animals, I guess. Which is killing, but whatever. And we're not gonna get into that. And yeah, that's just really cool twist. Sure, it starts off kind of edgy and shit, and the as I said, the title is pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, I like the relationship between the human and the monster. It's not like Kaisa, where Kaisa just does everything and the monster is just kind of there. The monster has no agency. It's like survive. Here it's like everything is kind of, everyone's just on their own, but at the same time, the creature actually cares, and it's the creature, the alien, who is the main character, really. They kind of tried doing that on some comics, like Venom. If someone knows, like, a movie or something that does that, I think Upgrade does that, right? Where, I don't know who watched Upgrade. It's basically this like nanite AI, like psychotic nana AI possesses this dude, and he just goes around killing people. That's basically what happens. It's called Upgrade. So yeah, like, I feel like there should be more of that. They tried doing that in Venom at one point, but it didn't really work. Like, I feel like nobody cared. Also because Eddie Brock is just a lot more interesting than loser symbiote who just wants to make friends. And, well, actually, that's what the symbiotes are supposed to be, but then they became warmongers or whatever, but we're not going to enter that again. So, yeah, that's the point. I love this. I love this lore. I love this concept. Overall, like, I love the whole shape-shifting idea. Like, wherever it goes, it changes form to suit its needs. I feel like more Void should do, like, more Void Water should do this. So, for the abilities, it's kind of weird. Okay, so there's like a bunch of different ideas here, and it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't work, but at the same time, does it really work? So, the passive is essentially Trundle's passive, with the added distinction that you have to walk over the corpses. It's kind of like, I guess, like Thresh's passive combined with Trundle's passive. So I guess as an added bonus for having to do that, because it's not immediate like Trundle's passive, he just heals when something dies. You know, he has to like actually like walk into the corpse. Well, she also gets like an overheal shield and a movement speed buff, which is nice. You basically just kill a bunch of minions, then just run at the enemy while healing, while getting a movement speed buff, while getting a shield. Just right, that's kind of cool, because it doesn't say, oh, okay, he has to like stop and stomp on the corpse, or like stop on a channel or something. No, it just goes near the corpse and heals and get the movement speed buff. That's it. And it's kind of neat. It's basically a built-in phage, which, yeah, it makes sense. I think it's fine. It's pretty conditional. Like, it has to meet like a bunch of conditions, so that's fine. In team fights, I guess it's pretty useful. In lane, it's pretty good. I guess in jungle, it's pretty decent too. Although, man, kind of. Again, like 1.5 seconds of movement speed. It's not terrible, I guess. But aside of that, so we have the Q, which I like. You can see it's kind of long, but it's really not that complicated. It's basically, okay, think, it says Vice Ball Breaker because you have to like, you can like charge it down and it increases the range and whatnot, but I feel like this is unnecessary for the most part, because it's basically Warwick's ultimate without suppress and a bit of armor shred. And the added thing to it is that it has like a finisher. Like she does like this backflip or something, and she like cuts someone with her tail. She like cuts the bitch with her tail, and it has this like weird AOE thing, which why is it there? I guess it's fine because he doesn't really have much AOE. He has her W, but it scales with AP, and the whole kit scales with AD apparently. So yeah, he doesn't have clear. I guess this adds to her clear. Sure. I wouldn't, like, the ability is cool, but I feel like you should like separate it into two different abilities. I don't know. It's fine. I like it. but maybe if he had more AoE or something that I don't know. I have like weird nitpicks with it. Like it's fine, but for some reason I can't accept it. Which, by the way, it's gonna be a bit of a trend with some of these concepts. So Solid Boom, I love this name, by the way. Solid Boom. It's both silly and genius at the same time. So okay. So okay, by the way, he like basically draws parallels with like a bunch of abilities, which makes sense because yeah, it's very similar to a lot of abilities. Like at one point, even like as I said, it referenced Sona. I don't remember where. I think like here. No, I can see it, but here. But so W. It's think Volibear's E, but in a cone, and it's also wind wall. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't stay like wind wall. You don't like how you throw the wind wall. It stops everything and then it stays for a while. Well, that's not what happens. Here it's basically Volibear's E. You knock back like everyone in a cone. You fear minions and epic monsters and non-epic monsters. I mean. And you deal a little bit of damage. That's it. And also you break projectiles. Similar to Yasuo's wind wall, but it won't stay on the ground. Yeah, that's basically it. And like I get the idea, but it feels kind of weird. Like, why would you have this? This is a tank / support kind of ability, and if you look at the rest of the kit, it doesn't really feel so much like that. And it scales with the AD, so why is she supposed to have like an AD support? Like Pyke? I guess, right? But Pyke, it like has an assassinate move though. She also has an assassinate move, but the whole gist of Pyke is that he makes a buttfuck ton of gold. This one is just an assassin that just happens to have like support things. And in that sense, it's, I don't know, it's weird. Then we get to the E. And I'm torn about this because, so imagine if the entirety, well, maybe not entirely, but all 3 basic songs of Sona were Twisted Fate, pick a card. Yeah, also, yeah, apparently this random Shuriman woman knows who Sona is. Like, what? Does she have a radio? Does she read the newspaper? Does she have internet? Yeah. Let's connect to, Ascended Wi-Fi. that would be kind of neat though. Like, to an extent, like kind of a joke concept of the sun disk. Yeah, well, when Shurima rose, it brought bandwidth to the rest of the Great Sai. Imagine that shit. There's gonna be a fucking Ascended champion who's just the Wi-Fi guy. We need a NASA's. Okay, I'm gonna say something stupid like we need a NASA skin, which is just him holding an antenna. I don't know. I don't know. And his ultimate, it's like Wi-Fi signal. And his W gives you like, you know what? This concept needs to exist. Wi-Fi NASA's. His W lags you. His Q, I don't know. It increases the tax of your. I guess that erases the cost of your of your of your subscription. I don't know. Your Comcast NASA's. Where am I even going with this? Okay, anyway. I do like this ability. I'm joking about it, but I do like this ability. I just feel like it shouldn't reference Sona at any point. It's just AD Sona, but also it's like every Sona song. But AD, like it's weird. It feels like it shouldn't be there. Why would just power creep Sona like that? Like, come on. Also, please, why Comcast mess? Why? Should I cut it out? I don't know. So R, it's okay. It's weird. R, what should I even say about R? It's basically, so you know how she changes forms depending on where she's standing. So what if, depending on what you're standing, you got a different champion's ult? Like if you were in if you were in normal ground, you get Nar's ult. If you're on a bush, you get a combination of Zyfo ult and I guess Ilawi's ult. You know how Ilawi's ult, what it does, it also shortens the cooldown of your W, so you just like auto attack a lot of people, and it also like slaps the tentacles. Well, this thing doesn't have the tentacles, but it has the quill spray thing, and basically what it does, it adds slow, and then like every time you attack a marked target with this like quill thing, it jumps to the target. So it's kind of like it's basically Ilawi's W. And then you have on the river, Dolphin Blow. It's Rek'Sai's ultimate with a slow. It's Rek'Sai's ultimate with a slow. That's it. It's slower Rek'Sai's ultimate. It's easier to predict, and apparently it's like more targeted. Like it's not like Rek'Sai where he jumps out and he's actually like a jump, like a line. She actually like targets you. So it's like I read the title and was like, okay, so it's like you have 3 casts and each cast does something different or something like that. Like maybe not this level of power, or just it's just a different ultimate depending on where you're standing. It's like imagine like 3 mini ultimates. And like you could like cast it in quick succession, like you like change forms like really quickly. We really need like a true shapeshifter concept that does that. That it just changes, like it just rapid fire changes forms. I hope they rework Udyr and they do something like that, where you can like really rapid fire change forms and it does something different depending on what form you did. That seems like a cool idea for a Udyr rework, by the way. But yeah, it's weird. It's like you just get 3 different ultimates that already exist. It's like, why? It's cool. Like I like those like positioning matters and tactical decision kind of abilities. It's just why 3 already existing abilities, but that's fine. I mean, it's weird. It's like it references a bunch of stuff, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense in its own way. As I said, I like it. It's terribly flawed, but I like it a lot, and I don't know. I want to say that I love it. I love the lore. I love the concepts that are introduced in the lore. But then you get to the kit, and it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I mean, maybe not. It's a bit of a mess for me. That's the thing. I mean, you can kind of explain the E by saying that, she knows the songs because fuck it, why not? And the creature is like, okay, so you're supposed to feel this way or supposed to do this thing for each song, and it's like he's like feeling the emotions and it's expressing itself through its void powers, and he just so happens to do the same thing as Sona's abilities. I still don't like the concept of the ability, as in it just power crept Sona kit, like not even like a Sona ability. No, it's just the whole kit on a single ability, and that's just why would you have that? Other than that, it's kind of, it has like a weird identity. It's like, do I want to be an assassin? Do I want to be a support? Do I want to be an initiate. Well, it is an initiator, very much an initiator. But wait, hold on. I think it says, yeah, it says fighter, jungler, and support. So I guess like Volibear. Yeah, I guess that's the idea, right? It's kind of like Volibear. Yeah, sure. I like it. I like it overall. It has like weird, it has like weird moments and like weird elements that are both really cool and at the same time it feels like it could be more, but at the same time I just like it how it is. Like I don't know how much more could you add to this. Like it's already a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I like it. I don't like it. It's weird. I don't know. Sure. You know what? I like it. I really like it. Okay, so so now is Medavae, the Fey Seraph. She's like a fairy angel, I guess. So apparently this is supposed to be. So do you remember Lulu's lore? How she's supposed to like get lost in this like magic glade, which I always found funny. Like, okay, so you have Bandle City in the spirit realm, but then also inside, like beside that, you just have like another like magic place. It's like, what? Why do you have that? But sure, whatever. The time and space don't make sense in fairyland, so sure, you can have whatever the fuck you want. So this champion is interesting. He has like a bunch of different ideas, and it also has like what I said before of this whole like physics, I guess, where you throw an ability and then another ability or something makes like, I don't know, a gust of wind or a current or something, and it moves other stuff, right? So I kind of want you to think this like you'd see Syndra. That's what I'm kind of getting with this. It's kind of, yeah, you kind of like place stuff around. You actually place like a bunch of stuff around, and it just works really oddly. Okay, so let's get to the passive, which we need to talk about this. So it's basically kind of like York's passive, that every once in a while when something dies, you get like a bunch of butterflies on the spot. So you have to auto attack this thing to basically open a rift in space-time to the glade. And apparently this thing's actually like disappear when she dies. I'm not sure if it says how long this lasts. Maybe this like doesn't go away like at all. So the thing is, this glade, like new terrain she creates, basically just boosts her abilities or does like different things, or like extends the durations. I believe, yeah, extends the duration of some of her marks. It has different effects between Medavae and enemy champions and neutral monsters. Oh yeah, so she gets health regen and mana regen while in the glade, by the way. Oh yeah, and she reses. Basically, yeah, she basically reses while she's inside of this. So this is gonna start a trend with this champion, and it's like, Jesus Christ, why do you have this many things? Like, it's like, okay, so when something dies, it creates butterflies. You order the butterflies to create this like spot of land. If you're standing in this spot of land, you don't die, essentially. It has a cooldown. You basically Anivia's passive. Then also your attacks, you stack like attacks. It's called like Vayne's Silver Bolts, but it's 4 hits. And at the 4th hit, it polymorphs. It's like, what? And it's exactly like Silver Bolts, by the way. That if you change targets, it like if you change targets, you lose all the stacks. and it's we like, okay, sure, why does he have all of that? Also, he has this last stipulation, which it took me a while to understand what it meant, or why was it there. If the marked enemy leaves the glade, they will remove his stack. It's like, okay. Marked enemy champions are neutral or taking damage. No, it doesn't say. It just sure. So basically, she only polymorphs while in the glade, essentially. And I don't know, like, it's like, why do you have that? Like, you already do stuff in the glade. You get a buff on the glade, but also you polymorph people as an artillery mage. It's why? Also she heals. By the way, she has like an AOE heal, and right, the Q gives her camouflage if she's on the glade. By the way. So yeah, this is the problem that I have with this champion. I really like fairy champions, or fairy characters, like in general. Like this idea of like, you know, OG fae characters, and by that I mean like OG faes, you know, like kind of half bird, half person, but also, you know, mischievous, you know, sometimes even deadly creatures who just kind of do their own thing and are assholes every once in a while. And there's actually like another concept that plays with that, and we're gonna get to that after this. But yeah, glitter pollen, it's you like throw this stuff and you mark people, and then if you I believe you throw it again, yeah, you can throw it again, and then it heals all allies caught in the first thing. But then we get to the second problem with this champion. If someone's on the glade, they will get under the effects of a random CC. Please no, don't do that. Random, like, okay, so randomness in League is a weird topic. Like, sure, you have crit chance, but that's kind of about it, right? You have crit chance, you have dragons, but like, I don't know. I feel like crit chance has been like a part of MMOs and RPGs and all that for so long that it's like, sure, just add it. And random dragons, honestly, I like the idea of random dragons. It's fine. But this, like, random CC is like, oh, it's either a root. It doesn't even say how long it lasts, by the way. It's either, oh, it says a root, or oh, it's just a disarm on a mage, something like you're playing Xerath and you get disarmed. Oh, who gives a shit? I'm still gonna kill you. But also, like, another moment, instead of a disarm, you get a fucking knock-up or something like that. It's like, no, like, it just feels wrong. And then, well, okay, so they is nice because it does that thing I said of like it moves other stuff around. Like if you throw your Q, it's just like this like butterfly things that float around, like go in a line. And then if you throw this glimmer with the W, and then you like throw this, you can like extend it essentially. And sure, that's nice. You know, the usual ability that does basically nothing. I mean, sure, he knocks back. It's basically spread the weak from Syndra. Again, it's basically just Syndra with more shit. And now we get to the ultimate. So, first of all, passive Medavae passively stored the last form of crown control it has applied or has been under the effect of. So, see, like, okay, he says, okay, it's similar to Zoe's W, but Zoe's W, she actually gets to keep the thing for a while, and she shows. Okay, so this is the spell I'm using, but she doesn't change spells as soon as she touches something else. She has to like actually use the spell. My point is, you don't have that much control over this. It's way too random. It's, well, not random necessarily, but it's way too conditional, and that's kind of my problem with it. It makes sense for it to be this like over the top and random and shit, but it's a fairy. Fairies are like that. Fairies are mischievous. Fairies are random. Fairies do whatever the fuck they want. But also, does that really work as a champion? And I don't know. I want to like it, but at the same time, I just can't because it's so inconsistent, and it just has so many things. And it's supposed to be an artillery mage, but this is clearly an overpowered as fuck support. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess you say always like Valka support or Syndra support. Yeah, that was a thing, by the way, for a while. Or what was it, Syndra support or bottling Syndra? I don't know. It's like Ziggs. It's like, sure, just take it bottling. So yeah, it's way too much CC on a mage, on a damage mage. It's way too much like random nonsense, like literally just a random. I mean, yeah, I feel like I should have more to say about this, but I really don't. The lore, again, it's not much. It's like, it's this. I mean, it's kind of interesting though. It's like this fairy lady who lives in the glade who met Lulu. It's like, oh, okay, there's more people outside the glade. I gotta go check it out. And then it realizes, oh shit, like this world is fucked. I need to fix this because I'm the like perfect, whimsical fairy goddess, I guess. And I'm gonna save the world by turning everything, into sugar, essentially, turning everything into my little Garden of Eden I have. Which it's kind of neat, like the idea of. And I like the idea of like the Fae Seraph being like this judicator kind of character, because Fae Seraph, like, okay, sure, like Seraph is a very specific kind of creature, right? It's not even like a warrior creature. It's like I'm not even sure what Seraph. It's like observers actually. Like Seraphs aren't meant to be proactive creatures, but I say creatures, but I don't know. Like, proactive beings. I guess everything's a creature, right? But the point is, I like the idea of, just like this disillusioned fairy that wants to turn the world perfect, essentially. And sure, it's similar to a concept I did at one point, although mine was like a billion times more edgy, which is not necessarily better. I'm just saying that I've seen this concept again other times. It works. I like the idea of, I have this view of the world and I want to just smack it on the whole world. I want to do something. I see the world like, I don't like how the world is. I want to do something about it, and I gotta be violent about it, basically. And it works on the kit. Like, I can see that, but the kit itself, it's too much. And I don't know, again, I'm kind of torn at this. It makes sense. It just, this is not artillery mage. You clearly not getting. You clearly not classified this champion correctly. This is clearly a support. It heals, like it heals allies. Like what artillery mage heals allies? Like, yeah, I can say, well, I don't know, Annie has a shield, right? Like, yeah, but it's a shield for her own. Like, 06 has a bomb, a spiel bomb thing, the satchel charge, but it's for himself. But it's like if Seraph healed with his Q, like, doesn't make sense. Or his W healed, right? So, yeah, sure, that's all I have. So that was a bit rambly, but let's keep going. Let's go with Zyfo's Depth's daughter. So, okay, so, I gotta be honest, I didn't really want to talk about this concept because there isn't much to say at this point. I say at this point, I never said what. Whatever. Okay, so let's start again. The point is, there isn't much to say about this. It's straightforward kind of AoE-ish assassin, kind of like a Katarina style champion. That's just say. Well, that's particularly well. Powerful mage, likes to keep battles. She breaks down her enemy. Like, yeah, she basically just jumps at people and kills them. That's all I'm getting from this. And I mean, it's fine, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so it has like cool ways of applying her damage, because like she has the skew that when it hits something, even like a wall, it like spreads. You know, in Heroes of the Storm, when, well, I say Heroes of the Storm, doesn't have to be Heroes of the Storm. When Hansel like shoots his spread arrow thing, where it hits something and they like shoots all over the place. Well, that's kind of it. That's kind of what's going on here. And then she like deals damage around her, and then she like tethers to a target and can damage them from like any distance or from like further away. It's fine. Like, I don't know. It's whatever. Also, the ultimate is just like big AoE dash damage all around you. It's fine having like simple concepts, and I like the fact that she's like a jellyfish. I love jellyfish, like visually speaking. I love marine life in general, like visually speaking. It's really cool and just nice to look at, honestly. But yeah, it's not much else to say. The lore doesn't really go. Ironically, is not very deep. It says like this girl this Ionian girl who gets killed by Noxian. Well, not killed, but she like throws herself into the water, and the water for some reason, because she like, I guess she was like a mage. You know how you can say, well, the character is a mage but he doesn't know, but suddenly, you know, something happens and they awaken their power. That's basically what I'm getting here. It's sure she becomes like this jellyfish lady, and now she wants to kill Noxians because she angry. She angry girl. Sure, I don't know. It's kind of straightforward. Ionian who wants to kill Noxians. How like that's how most Ionians were at one point, until then, you know, they're sort of like diversifying. They're a little bit more. But sure, it's fine. The passive is kind of interesting. Like when you damage them for a fourth, basically, well, not for a fifth of a champion's health, you reduce their AP. Only their AP, which doesn't make any sense. Like it should. Or don't that. Wait, hold up. Enemies melee attacking her also gain a stack. Okay. Oh, wait. This is silly. I don't know how you feel about that. Like this is weird. Like she's supposed to be like a tank, or yeah. Okay. So again, like why this passive is not a mage passive? So this is clearly some form of assassin, or yeah, like a Katarina. Maybe not like so as bursty as Katarina. Maybe more like a Silas, you know. But still, like why would you have a passive that's clearly about? Also, it's clearly about taking damage and sustained fights. I don't know. I mean, sure, you can say, oh, it's like Malzahar. She doesn't burst you down. She just makes you weaker as you fight her. She like stings you. That's basically what's going on. She stings you, and yeah, that's nice. But like that's nice from a Vorthos perspective. Idea of, oh, she's a jellyfish, she stings you. But yeah, it's just not very engaging, you know. It's there. The passive is basically just that. It's like purely passive. It's like if you get hit by melee, like only melee. That's the thing. It's not ranged, but there are at a certain range. Like enemies that hit you from a 300 unit range get stung and they take damage, or something like that, right? Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this guy. It's okay. It's there. It exists. Okay, so now we have Madison, the Queen of Cards, and yeah, I'm not gonna go like ability by ability this time, like, because holy hell, it's okay. Okay, so let's go point by point. Anyway, so Fox Lady, she her top half is a fox. That's it, and she has like a hoodie, well, not a hoodie, but like a cloak on top of her, because she was shunned for being half fox. That's basically what's going on. The idea is that she was this random girl in Shurima, and her father died, and some like fortune teller or like witch comes along, and she's like, okay, can I like ask you for a favor so you can revive my dad? And she's like, no, you can't. And then she tries to steal crystal, and the woman's like, okay, no, now I'm gonna curse you, and I'm gonna turn into a fox lady. And that's basically what's going on. And then she like took on the fortune teller, I guess, like follow on the fortune teller's footsteps, and she now like uses like magic cards, I guess. And magic cards is right, because oh god, this champion is basically deck building the champion. Well, not even deck building, because that's the one part of card games that you don't have. I don't even know how to describe this champion, because it's like, so going back to what I was saying about randomness in League, it's there are certain levels of random you can have. Like even in like Dota, for example, you don't have that much randomness. Like the last aspect of the last random thing they added, I think, was neutral items. That's like the closest thing I can think of to this. Because basically you run around, you get like random cards from a pretty wide selection, and then when you kill something you get a different card, and when you cast an ability the next card you draw is a specific type of card, and every card empowers your abilities in a different way. Like one card is like smoke bomb, but the other one is like you steal gold, and the other, the other one makes you invisible. It's ridiculous. I didn't. What heals you? Like, what? It's all random. You just like get whatever the hell you want, and then you don't get what you want. That's exactly the problem. You don't get what you want, and then I believe it's the passive. Hold up. No, not the passive. It's the R. Okay, no. There's one ability she had, which like rolls a roulette or some shit. So again, it's like not only you have card games, you have gambling. You have to increase the rating, increase League's rating just for the champion. Imagine that shit. Although to be fair, like League's rating, like what the hell? Like you have like you have characters like splitting you in half and shit. Like, and gambling would increase that rating. Like what the hell? But whatever. Like, yeah, it's. I want to talk about this champion, but I can't because it's way too much. And I've read it multiple times, and it just doesn't. I don't know. Like, I left a comment down here. Like, it pretty much summarizes what I want to say here. Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. I admire the effort. Like, I like the fact that they did this like ridiculousness. And then like I compare it to Felios. Like, he has full control of rotations. The only thing you don't control is something that like it's always the same way. Is the starting of your guns. And I love card games. I play Magic. Well, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. But this, like, it does it work as a champion? No, I don't think so. Would it work? How would it work? I mean, say, oh, what about Twisted Fate? Well, Twisted Fate, honestly, the whole card thing doesn't. It's just visual, if you ask me. Like, Twisted Fate having cards, it's like a character quirk, more of a, oh, it has cards, because cards is like real part of his identity as a gameplay, from a gameplay standpoint. Like, you could just say, well, he's pick a card. If you made like an entirely different character, they just work the same way as Twisted Fate. You could say, oh, I don't know, his passive is like he's just muting people into gold, and his pick a card is just different, I don't know, potions or different spells he can cast, stuff like that. So yeah, but this one actually attempts to have like a real connection to playing cards, and I wish it worked, but it's too much, and I would like to see it work, because there are like some interesting takes, right? There is clearly an attempt to make this work, and that's really admirable. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it was like a playable concept. It's one of those things that I don't think it would work, but I would love to try. I would love to try making it work. Well, kind of like card games, right? You get like a new card, and it's like, okay, like what am I, like a new card? You read the effect, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? And then you think, what am I supposed to do with this? You know. So yeah, in that sense, it accomplishes what it sets out to do. It's feel like a card game in a league. So yeah, it's there. The lore doesn't really inspire me much. It's just like this girl who tries to do something and gets punished, and now she's an outcast like everywhere she goes. Oh, you know what? Oh, by the way, she now owns a casino in Ionia. Like, okay. Like, I mean, Set having fighting pits, like that's a thing, right? Like, that's fine, but a casino? Really? Not to mention, do Noxans even have casinos? Do they import the technology for casinos, or like something similar to casinos? And I guess they have gambling, right? Yeah, they have gambling. Doesn't have to be like with like I can't remember the name of those things. But like machines and shit. It could just be like card games. I guess in that sense it makes sense, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, set gamble. So why wouldn't there be a casino? Yeah, whatever. I'm just stupid. But yeah, again, I would love this to exist, just to try it, just to see. Damn, how would this work? Okay, so now we have Aqrabu, the Sentinel of Animus, which to this day I still have no idea what Animus is supposed to be, but whatever. So, okay, so visually this guy's kind of cool, cause think of what is this? Hold up, Scorpion King. Was it? Wait, hold. Oh no, I don't have. Whatever. So the Scorpion King. I don't have the internet. Sorry. The Scorpion. Like dude on top, and the lower half is a scorpion. This is a scorpion with like claws and everything. But he is a statue. He's a sculptor. He's basically a thing that someone made. He's basically Galio, like Shuriman Galio, from the time of the Shuriman Empire. So apparently, what happens is Shriva falls, and he was in his post because he was just a golem. He was just there, and he's like, oh well, what's happening? I mean, I'm gonna stand my ground here, but I have no idea what's going on. And every once in a while, like a treasure hunter will show up, and he would just kill them because, well, that's what he does. And eventually, Zerath fights him, and it's like, oh, an ascended, nice. How may I help you, basically? And Zerath's like, oh, okay, cool. I found this golem, and now I'm gonna use it for my own for my own plans. And that's basically what's going on. He's like a half guy, half scorpion golem thing, and Zerath finds him at one point, and it's like, okay, nice, I got a weapon now, I guess. I already have Renekton, but I guess having someone else is nice. So the kit, it's kind of weird because it's like a mixture of other kits. Like, oh, okay, so it does have some cool, unique stuff though. I'm gonna say that. So, for example, we have the passive, which is a double. So basically, think Mordekaiser's passive, but not exactly, because Mord's passive you can just single target. You can just get 3 single target attacks and you get the passive. This guy needs to hit more than 1 champion. Wait, no. Oh wait, no, never mind. Wait, I thought I read that right. Oh, weird. Okay, so it's just Mord's passive, but easier to get. That's kind of weird. Yeah, but it lasts for like a lot less. It doesn't give him movement speed, and also when he like gets it again, it doesn't just refresh. It like does like a burst of damage around you. It's got like Sunfire, like current Sunfire. But apparently it doesn't have cooldown. So yeah, it's basically you get this and then you start ticking damage around you every time you hit someone. It doesn't work on auto attacks, it's only abilities. So in that sense it's more bursty. It's kind of weird. Because it's supposed to be like a Juggernaut, but I guess that makes sense. Like, Juggernauts are pretty bursty. And then we have the other passive, and this was really neat. Really cool. He basically gets 50% tenacity, like right off the bat. That's basically that's basically what happens. He gets, well, no, he gets 20-40 tenacity, and then he gets like reduction to slows. I'm pretty sure tenacity affects. I don't know. Oh wait, no, but tenacity reduces duration, doesn't reduce the effect itself. Okay. But also displacement, like say Blitz Hook, or what's the name of this? Nautilus Hook, or hooks in general. They only drag you half as much, and that's just cool. Like, I don't know, like, it's such a simple change. Maybe not like all the tenacity and all the basically I'm unstoppable, screw you. I mean, sure, Sejuani has something similar, but it's only like every once in a while and it only lasts for a few seconds. This guy just has it. He's just basically unstoppable. And I mean, he doesn't have mobility, so sure. But again, I don't know. I like the idea. I like mostly the idea of you only get dragged so much. Maybe you should like also do something with knockups, right? Like knockups only knock up like a little bit, not as much. But which by the way, knockups cannot be like reduced in any way. So, but also displacement can be reduced anyway. So if you just had a champion that was like, okay, so all this like CCs that usually cannot be reduced, that cannot be affected, instead I get to like have, I get to like counter that, get to counter Tristana ult and stuff like that. This is really good against Lee Sin, I guess, because Lee Sin likes to like kick the big health target. And Zed, actually, good point. What about Zed? Like all these champions like to like grab a big, well, I say all these champions, Zed and Lee Sin, they like to like throw a champion against other people. Yeah, in that sense, it's very nice as a little like counterpick, and then he gets like basically more expensive. But then he gets like, okay, he gets like an auto reset with a poison. It does more damage if they are knockup, if they are CC'd. Sure. Then he gets Poppy's Q. That's basically it. It's Poppy's Q with Alistar's Q. Like it's a mixture of both. Also gets armor pen because he's Darius now. I don't know. But sure. Then, okay, so then he has Cinch Fling, but it's a skill shot, so it's longer range essentially. But it's not targeted. That's nice. I actually wanted to make an ability like that, but I always felt it was too strong. I don't know. It's nice. It does have this one thing. Like the whole champion does have this one thing. Is that, well, I think the whole champion, but the W and E have this cool thing where he can move while he throws all his stuff. And this is a thing that the poster wanted to kind of like add to the concept, is that he has like a lot of mobility because he's like a scorpion, so he like skitters around basically, so like nothing stops him, he just like skitters around all over the place. And in that sense, yeah, that's nice. Oh, and then like the R is basically a sandstorm from Sand King, Dota Sand King. He like drops to the ground, makes himself invisible, and well, not invisible, intargetable in this case. And then he like makes like a big AoE that drops people towards him. And triggers his. Oh wait, it doesn't trigger. Okay. Why wouldn't it? I feel like it should. I feel like it should like stay with the passive, but sure. Whatever. Yeah, basically he becomes an AoE. He like goes away and becomes an AoE that starts like dragging people towards him. And that's nice. Sure. But I don't know, it's there, it's like, okay, cool, it's like a big tank juggernaut idea. He sounds like fun. That's basically all I gotta say. He sounds like fun. But yeah, he's cool visually, like the lore is cool, and he sounds like fun. It's just, well, you know, there's not much else I can say. I like the ultimate. I like the I'm okay about the W. I'm okay about the Q. The passive is both cool and eh. Like one passive is eh, and the other one's pretty cool. So yeah, it kind of goes through the motions, as in it just does what it needs to do. I don't know. I kind of like it, but in a sure it works way. Okay, so now we're gonna go with Arthor, yeah, or whatever, the nuisance. Which, okay, so this guy has a really twisted sense of humor. I'm just gonna say that. Like, if you read the lore, which please read for yourself because it's a doozy. It's like this guy has a dog, right? This guy doesn't even say like where he's from. Like, while reading the whole story, I thought, okay, this is just like a random guy in a suburb who has a dog, and the dog gets fleas, and then like one day there's like this super flea that kills his dog essentially, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna like remove this super flea, and then the flea like jumps into his mouth, and then like something happens and he becomes like, you know, the Fly, the movie The Fly. Well, that, but he's a flea instead of a fly or whatever, and that's it. It's like it's a dude that gets attacked by a super flea, and the super flea kind of like transforms him into a flea. And like there's like really disgusting imagery in this little story here. Like even the title is like a bit twisted. It's like Arthor and his dog meet an odd flea. It's like it's something you would hear from Stephen King, right? It's just why, and this goes on for like the whole champion. It's just weird. Like when he damages champions, at one point he literally poops blood, and then allies can eat the blood poop, and heal. It's like, what? Oh, and then the whole kit is all about basically like infesting enemies. Basically, you can infest enemies, and then the enemies die, and then turn into like a bunch of little fleas, and it's kind of like Malzahar's voidlings, essentially. Like he has like a bunch of armor shred and a bunch of other shit. I think he got deny minions, which is kind of neat. And yeah, he can turn minions into little like flea egg things, kind of like zero portals. Like they drop fleas all over the place and they damage enemies. And it's so creepy and disturbing. Oh, and they turns him into a flea. He becomes a flea, like a tiny flea, and then like attaches to a host. And that's it. And he deals damage, and that's it. Why? I guess the R is nice, because you turn your flea, you drop in someone, and basically you become like this moving hitbox. Like the champion becomes this like friendly fire hitbox, I guess you could say, because you actually have a hitbox while you're like the small flea. It's less of a flea, more of a face hugger, I guess you could say. So more like a head grab, right? Like a big like arrogant thing that just latches on to a target, and then you basically become this moving thing. And if the enemy champion is on top, it's like with his team, then the rest of the team has to like make sure to avoid the champion. Not because they can damage him, but because all their projectiles will get stopped by this like additional hitbox. And sure, it's there. It's weird. It's why? I like it. Like it's kind of like something out of Invader Zim or something like that. Or like yeah, like it's Stephen King. Like this is clearly like Stephen King-ish sort of thing. Not even monster, because Stephen King monsters are usually, you know, they're different, right? But this is like almost comical. Like Stephen King monsters are supposed to be, you know, a little bit comical sometimes, but you're still meant to take them seriously. This is just so silly that I don't know what to think of it. Like he poops blood, and then allies start eating the blood, and wow. It's like at one point someone says, like, yeah, we start like saying, okay, like my champion is more disturbing or whatever, and then one said, Christ, while eating Arthur's shit for the heal. So yeah, that's it's disgusting. I love it. I love it. It wouldn't fit the game at all, but I love it. It's like this horrible monster. Horrible, but kind of comical monster. Like on paper it's comical, but if this thing jumped at you, you would scream your lungs out. Like, give me new Fetal 6 over this, basically. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's cool. It's creepy. It's great. I love it. Like gameplay wise, it's fine. It has like a bunch of different things. It's more, top down. Like it's basically this guy, this big flea guy that like inserts fleas in other people. And he does like a bunch of different things. He heals. He gets like armor shred. He gets armor and magic shred, and he also like he gets like tank stats. He gets like little like mouse heart puppies. It's there. It's great. I love it. I don't know. I'm at a loss here. I love it. Okay, so now prepare yourselves for the best concept this month. And if you say otherwise, you are wrong. You have the right to be wrong, but you are wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why. So, Unival, spine snail. What is he? He's a humanoid snail. And what else? He likes green. He likes plants. And then, oh, the void is here. I'm gonna fight for the plants. And that's it. And it's cheeky as fuck. Like just read this. He's the last survivor, Asian breed of a Stein tribe, to the plague arbor in Ishtal. Like the plague lands right south of Ishtal. Recent movements by Voidborn have pushing out his homeland, forcing him to fight or run, but he's a snail. So he only has to fight. He can only fight. And there is a very charming simplicity in this champion, especially in how the lore is written. Simple. Like, it's kind of like Rammus in the sense of like look at all the quotes. It's like little sound effects, like boop, like getting like into his shell and stuff like that when he gets mad. It's like little like cute, charming things that just make this concept so lovable. So the champion itself, it's kind of flawed. So there are like two parts to the champion, with our slime and I guess poisonous shell. Essentially, he is slow as fuck, but his abilities like drop goops of slime that grant him movement speed. That's basically it. And then he's poisonous. I guess he's like a cone snail. I'm not sure if it says like if he's supposed to be like a cone snail, but whatever. He's poisonous. When you touch him, when an enemy touches him, they are poisoned, and that does like different things. He can get inside his shell to get tank stats. He can then come out, deal AoE damage, and it's great. It has like two like separate, well-defined ideas. It's well done. It has a lot of intent. It's very deliberate. Like it doesn't break character at any point, even when it's arguably pretty detrimental to, you could say, the fun factor, because he would be really slow. I guess you could say he's like reverse Rammus, while also being kind of like Rammus from a kind of like a charm sense. I mean, I wish I had more to say, because I love this. This is the best concept this month. You can't tell me otherwise. You cannot tell me otherwise. It is amazing. So yeah, that's basically he covers the world in slime, and he's a nice guy, and he's a bit toxic, but that's about it. I was saying poisonous. Should be poisonous or venomous? No, it's poisonous, right? Because it's like on contact. But yeah, I don't care if it doesn't work because he would be kind of slow and he basically would be kind of like Cinch but without the movement speed buffs. Or rather, but actually that's the one thing I can say about it. It's basically cinched with kind of like a shield and AoE thing. But I like cinched, so whatever. I don't have anything else to say. It is the best concept. Screw you if you think otherwise. Okay, so let's go for something a bit more complicated now. Oannes, King of the Medavae. I don't know how to pronounce this. I know what it is. It's I believe it's a Greek myth, right? It's like this fishman. It's like this fishman sage. Any mythology? Yeah, there we go. Like this fish sage called like a Naga, who brings knowledge to the world or something like that. I don't remember exactly what was the myth, but it's a nice reference. I'm glad that it's there. So this is basically, you know, Nami. So okay, so this is her dad, and it's the king. It's basically Aquaman, or well, I say Aquaman, but it's more like the villain. What was his name? Like Master of the Oceans or something like that. I don't know. I only know the Spanish name. He's like the Master of the Oceans, like the Lord of the Sea or something like that. But yeah, that's basically it. The story here has a few problems which I already addressed. Like I already talked about with the creator. And it's basically that, again, there's a bunch of cameos that don't make sense. Like Nautilus shows up, even though Nautilus is like hundreds of years old. Like it's been around since way before Nami even existed. And also the summoners make an appearance. And that's something that sometimes happens too. Like someone is writing the lore for a champion and includes the summoners because they don't know that the summoners stopped being canon like a long time ago. But that's fine. Like in this story, it usually doesn't break the story because here, like like the role they fulfill could be changed for, like, I don't know, like a king or a pirate, or you know, someone who has like power and authority and like a bunch of shiny MacGuffins. That's basically it. So yeah, sure, it has like some problems. The character itself is whatever. It's like he angry. He wants to like flood the world essentially. He's also like stupid powerful. He's basically the Aquaman villain, right? He has this scepter which allows him to control the storms and the sea and all this nonsense. And it plays pretty one-to-one on his kid, which I'll have to say it's a bit poorly explained at some points, but it's not terrible. So okay, so let's talk about mostly the bad stuff, because the rest of the stuff is it has like this weird gimmick, but we'll talk about that later. It has like two gimmicks essentially. And by gimmicks, I really mean gimmicks. Like, it's not, oh, it's like two themings. No, they're actually like gameplay gimmicks he has. First of all is Oceanic Domain. Basically, he has like this wave that goes from base to base, but it stops towers essentially. And while he's inside this like shore, I guess you could say, like this sea, he gets like buffs. He gets movement speed, I believe. I think it says, there we go. His movement speed and his abilities gain like different bonuses depending on the ability itself. So okay, so I wanted to talk about a type of concept that I see all the time, that I've tried a bunch of times, and it's I don't know exactly how to call it. I would call it the event champion, or like map altering champion. So you know Skarner's passive. which is like this pylons that only affects Garner, but they also give vision and whatnot. So a lot of the time you're gonna have champion concepts that are like, okay, so every once in a while some random event happens. I remember very clearly that there was like this concept that had like great presentation but was absolutely insane. It was like an entire game mode made into a champion, and it was like that taken to the. It was like the idea of map altering champions taken to like the absolute extreme. But in this case, it actually works pretty well because it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just completely altering the map. No, it's more like Kale, in the sense of as the game progresses, he just gets buffs. And in this case, it actually like it's not just, oh, he gets like buffed abilities just because. No, he actually has to like go around breaking towers and actually advancing and doing kind of like the Azir thing of pushing forward and essentially conquering the rift, which is nice. I like that. And yeah, it's a great way of taking that while keeping this idea of I'm the master of the ocean, I'm gonna like flood the world, while making it actually reasonable. Although I do have a bit of a problem, and that is essentially this is like a toaster burner. There's like, oh shit, there's a fucking Oannes on one of the teams. Hell, there's a fucking Oannes on both teams. There's gonna be this fucking effect, like map-wide effect, and my PC just gonna burn. And it's gonna burn indeed because like the ultimate does like something with this. So it also has like second passive is like when. It's like when you kill a tower, you get like bonus gold essentially. There is someone else say it just does that. It's bonus gold. It's like it starts like gathering gold, and then you can like right click it to get a bunch of gold. I don't know why it's there. It's nice, I guess. This is clearly like top down design at its finest, but at the same time, I feel like you can do without this. So. Then we have the other gimmick, and that is his abilities. Okay, hold up. I have. So the thing is, his abilities all do this thing where you cast them, right? And if they are on the well, not even that. Like you cast these things, and then they go somewhere else. Essentially, for example, like you drop like a lightning, and then the lightning kind of moves, but you don't control where it moves. What it does, it moves towards the enemy nexus, essentially. And if you are in the water, and I say in the water because the passive goes up to the river like either way. Like it stops like right at the river, so it's gonna be water no matter what. It like keeps going until it reaches the edge, like the shore. But it's like okay, cool. Then this, it's like it's almost like this like well, water dragon essentially. And then again, it does like you choose like a distance, and it goes towards, it goes towards like the zone on that distance, like the area of the distance. It like doesn't hit everything on its path. It just like jumps, like does like an arc towards a zone in that distance towards the nexus, the enemy nexus. And it's like, why is that a thing? Like at the start he says, yeah, I wanted to make like a positioning matters kind of champion, but this is like, what? It's so weird. It doesn't, I don't know, what would you have this? Like am I missing something? Is this supposed to have like a scientific reference, right? Like I don't know, like the current, like apparently, like, I don't know, beach currents go towards the shore. I don't know, man. Like do like storms, like tropical storms, tend to like follow the. I don't know. Like I'm trying to see like there's like a reason for this, other than that lol, just gimmicky nonsense. And that's my problem with it. Like the concept is really cool, but it's just gimmicky nonsense, and I can't see it for anything else really. It's just weird and gimmicky for no real reason. And the problem is, it doesn't even need to be that gimmicky, because Q and W actually kind of need abilities. They don't need this whole weird thing. And the thing is, there was like a while ago. Let's see if I can search for it. A while ago, there was this concept that it was like this owl guy who controlled the wind, but had like little control over. I'll search for it later. Had like little control over his abilities, and the whole idea was that like in lore he had little control over his abilities. And I'm gonna guess that that's what's supposed to be going on here, because in the lore we give this idea. We are given this idea that he has a short temper, essentially, and when he gets angry, shit happens in the surface. There's like tsunamis, random ships will sink. There will be whirlpools, there will be storms and shit. So I guess that's what it's trying to accomplish. Like, I'm so fucking angry at the shore, at the enemy base, essentially, that all my abilities just go there. And like, okay, sure, but again, it's kind of like what I said with Medavae. Does that really work as a champion? As cool as that is, and like, it doesn't break the concept. It just, why have that? And then okay, the art though, it's pretty sweet. It's like so what it does, it's like it makes like a big tsunami that goes through the whole domain, to the whole like ocean thing he has, and then you can like summon. So the wave itself doesn't actually do much, but you can like reactivate it on different spots over the map to like make like boulders appear and knock people away, basically. And yeah, that's sweet. That's cool. I don't know if I left any. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, I just bitched about the lore, essentially. And like at the start, I didn't understand how the abilities were supposed to work. But yeah, sure. Like that's basically what it does. It's all the abilities kind of, after you release them, they just like gravitate towards the enemy nexus and go as far as they can. And yeah, okay. It's just two separate gimmicks don't make a compelling champion. The champion is good. It's just why does it have this? Why does it have this whole? Also, like it's just not well explained. Like he tries to like be fancy about it and be like, oh, they go through the map's diagonal or some shit. It's like, dude, no, fuck off. Like, just say they go towards the enemy nexus. That's all. It's like Poppy's ultimate. That when she hits her fully charged ultimate, she like sends you flying towards your nexus or your fountain, whatever. So yeah, other than that, it doesn't really do much. He like deals damage with his Q. He like slows, or I think he knocks up with this too. With the dragon thing. DE is like, I don't even remember what this does. Oh, it just deals damage. It doesn't do anything. It just deals damage. And it's, I guess, it's like orange Q, right? Like it lives behind like a little thing. And then he has like big CC damage, flash shield. But yeah, I like it. It has a few flaws in the lore, but that's fine. But really, why have this weird, like, diagonal towards the anime-based gimmick. It just feels weird. Well, there was a champion that kind of did that. Then was it? No, not Poppy. There was something else that kind of liked doing that. I think maybe it was a concept I read too. Like I don't know. I don't know. For like a second there, I felt like there was somewhere else I've seen something like this. But with like abilities you can't really control. And it's not the Owl Boy I was talking earlier. So I don't know. I want to like it, but it's weird. I like parts of it. I like this. I like the ultimate. I like the individual abilities are okay. There's not really much to them. And yeah, like they have like the quotes. They're nothing special, honestly. Although he does have like this cool skins. I love like when they add skins, when the poster adds skins. So there's like Koi, don't gag me because I'm beautiful. And then like there's like Project Oannes, I guess. And then like a surfer dude Oannes, which is great. This is awesome. So yeah, it's gimmicky as hell. I kind of like it, but I wish it wasn't that, like, I don't know, silly, I guess.